Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
Welcome back to the Premier Lakers Show. I'm your host, Phil Charles, and welcome to the Lakers Talk 101. Don't forget, if you like our show, please subscribe to All Sports, All Plays, ASAP Network. Like us, subscribe, share. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Roku TV. Please like our content, share it out. I'm joined by my man, Freddie, Jonathan, and Doug. Please introduce yourselves, gentlemen.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be on tonight. My name is Freddie Henderson. Please tune in. It's going to be a wonderful show.
What's up, everyone? This is Jonathan Mathis. I'm back with you guys once again, the Sports Judge. This is going to be an awesome show. What is this below me? Is this a plume of smoke or what's going on here?
We want all the smoke, Jonathan. We want all the smoke, man.
I can dig it.
What's going on, everybody? This is Doug Brooks of the one and only The Big Time Show podcast. And whenever I show up, the crowd goes wild. Ain't no doubt about it. I'm in the house. What's going on, everybody? Let's go to work here.
Hey, it's good to be with y'all again, fellas. And once again, this is our third episode, and we're only getting better. You know, this is, again, the premier show for all Lakers Nation content. So we're going to get it off right in a hurry. So, as you all know, Russell Westbrook has decided to pick up his option for his contract. The Lakers will keep him. How do you guys feel about that, Freddie?
You know, like I said, the very first episode, it's probably the best scenario for the Lakers. Be patient, wait it out, and then wait to next, and just pray, say a prayer that it works out next year under new leadership in Darvin Ham. The reason why I say that is because, hey, even if it don't work out, it's a positive ending behind the Russell Westbrook era, and that is waiting to next year until $47 million come off the books. Then the Lakers have a little bit more flexibility. They can either do two things. Either they can wait, or either they can go out and get another star to team up with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, or they can build depth around the two and go out and get actually great quality role players to fit around the two. So I believe that's a good opinion, good idea in my eyes. And hell, who's going to turn down $47 million? I mean, he'll be crazy to decline it. Let's just be honest.
No, I agree. And like you said, Russ is the hometown kid. So, I mean, as much as slander he may be getting from the outside world, I'm sure the team and the internal coaching staff, they want to see him do good. I mean, he has to do good for the success. So, how you feel, Jonathan?
Yeah, you mentioned it. He's the hometown kid. I guess not only does he want to, that pile of money, but he also wants to stay at home. This is a Long Beach native. He's at home. He played his college ball at UCLA. And, the Lakers are going to try it once again. They're going to see if this experiment can actually work out and benefit them in a long way. We'll have to see if it works out. This is a make or break year, I would think. If it doesn't pan out this year, then, hey, we'll see you later, Russell Westbrook. But let's be a little patient. I know it's hard for Laker fans to remain patient. It's hard for me to stay very patient. I'm not a patient person. Those who know me I'm very impatient, especially when it comes to the Lakers, because I'm always hoping that our team gets that W and win championships, because that's what it's all about here in Lakerland, winning championships. But if he cuts down on the number of turnovers, if he can eliminate the mistakes that he made last year that proved costly. I think he could be a better all-around player for this Laker team. I still have my questions about whether or not he fits this scheme, whether or not he fits this team's personality, but we'll see how much he fits under this new coaching staff. That's what I'm curious to see, how well he performs under this new coaching staff with Darvin Ham now. And Darvin Ham may be able to utilize him differently, allow him to be himself more. And we didn't see that under Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel at times was very confused in which how to use him. And that's something that we saw with the Lakers last year. So it could be a lot different for Russell Westbrook, and we'll see this year.
And you brought up a good point, Jonathan. Fit is extremely important, right? No matter how great a player is, if he's going to a team or to a coaching staff that's not conducive to his style of play, it's going to create some difficulties. But Doug, how you feel about that, man?
Well, it's a business, It's just the bottom line. It's a business, and the best business decision for him is, of course, to pick up that option, and it's $47 million. I mean, come on now. Really, just close it out right there.
Right there.
I made it $47 million. The chances are that he will not be with us next year. I guarantee you, whatever team picks him up, they will not be paying $47 million for him. And so because of that, this probably will be his last opportunity to get a gigantic paycheck. However, there's another angle, if you ask me. Since we know, or I'm going to figure, I don't care who the coach is, and Darvin is seems to be a good coach. We ain't seen him in the head coaching role, but I'm thinking he's going to be pretty good. I really believe that using the Laker brand, considering the fact that we already know that Russell Westbrook knows that he is going to be on television. And so essentially what we have is $47 million and a national TV tryout for whoever the next team will be. He will have plenty of opportunities to prove that he is who he say he is, and some team will bite on that and say, hey, without a doubt, we can use him. So the way I look at it is, it's the best of both worlds for him. He can $47 million, and it is a whole season tryout for him on next year, and he can go and move on because we're not paying that type of money next year.
And before we continue, I want to say first and foremost, thank you to all the fans we have in the comment section. Ignacio, Wardell Wright, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And you brought up a great point, Doug, right? A lot of times us fans, media personalities, we overcomplicate the situation. It's $47 million, y'all. 47 big ones. I might not ever see $1 million in my entire life, but not 47? Nah, run that to me quick. Run that to me real quick. But let's move on to the next topic, right? So we have Yahoo Sports are saying that the Lakers are interested in Colin Sexton. So if you don't know, Colin Sexton, he's more of a dual threat kind of a point guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was sidelined this year with an injury, but over the last 2 or 3 years, he's averaged 16 points, 20 points, 25 points per game. So he's a big-time spark, either as a starting point guard or coming off the bench. So how do you guys feel about that, Doug?
He's a real good player. He is a true point guard, a guy that can settle your offense, and he can score. To me, right off the top, I'm not saying he's a better player than Russell Westbrook, but he's a better fit than Russell Westbrook would be. He would understand what it means to be, the third or fourth option. He would understand that. His game would adjust to that. I mean, he really would understand it. Does he have the star power as Russell? No. But for the Los Angeles Lakers, he's and he can shoot it too. So let's throw that in. So we also know, since we're going to deal with AD and LeBron, the thing that they need the most is a guy that when they get doubled, they can kick it out and they can find somebody that can knock the shot down on a consistent basis, Sexton can do that better than Russell Westbrook right now. So if that was the case, that'd be good. Plus, one more thing before I turn it over. Let's be honest. We need to get younger. And he fits. He fits that automatic. So he checks all the boxes for me. If it's serious, I will welcome it with open arms. Just depending on who we got to give up to get him. That's not the problem.
And he has something that, to me, is extremely important from a player, right? He has that dog in him. He has that heart in him. He's aggressive on the offense and defense. Right. I don't know if y'all watch him at Alabama, but this is one play. He's picking up the guy from half court. He gets in his little stance, clapping his hands. He's like, let's go. And to me, I love that energy from a player, man. And we need it. LeBron needs that. AD doesn't have that. So we need that from some of our players, man. But Jonathan, what you got, man?
Well, Doug brought up the fact that he's not a sexy name, but he would be in LA. Look, this is a place where he will rocket to stardom because of his style of play and how well he would fit with this team. I think he would be the ideal fit for this team. Look, he plays with aggressiveness. He has that mental toughness. He's an explosive guard with a high upside. So this guy would fit in quite well with this Laker team, and this is the play. This is that guard that the Lakers are missing. They're missing someone who can bring that energy, who can excel playing alongside LeBron. And we all know LeBron has succeeded with guard play, with tremendous guard play around him. He has always had a shooter around him throughout his NBA career. So this would be tremendous for the Lakers. And it's the Lakers. I'm not surprised they are interested in Colin Sexton. I'm not surprised at all because this is a team, again, they like to win. So they are attracted to names like this. And I wouldn't be very surprised if he ends up being a Laker. But what I like about him, too, is that he has a tremendous passion for the game of basketball. He performs his best in big games, and that's critical. Here in LA, we like players to live up to the hype and to perform up to their capabilities, and he can do that. Another thing I like about Colin Sexton that a lot of people don't talk about is that he's not afraid of the big moment. And playing on a big stage like here in Los Angeles, you can't be afraid of the big moment. You can't fold under pressure. And I think Colin Sexton is that one guy that can handle the pressure of playing in Los Angeles for a storied franchise.
One of the comment section, one of the guys brought up that he could shoot the ball pretty well, and I agree. I want to say his last season before he got injured, he was shooting almost 40% from three, 38% from three, 37% from three. So he can knock it down from long range, man. The guy's a shooter for real. What's up, Freddie?
Listen, I'm glad Doug said it because if Doug didn't say it, I was gonna say it. The Lakers need to get young. Last year they had a year of the nursing home. I mean, hey, I got tired of people calling us the nursing home. I got tired of people calling us the old folks home. I got tired of hearing all that. So it's time to put youth around LeBron James. Not just that, my friends. We need to have somebody where we can say, here's the ball, Colin. We need you to get a bucket. And what was one of the things in Cleveland that said, hey, he was a bucket getter. They said that he didn't want to pass the ball. I mean, that was rumors that was coming out about the man. I'm pretty sure you team up with LeBron, Darvin Ham, and them, they're going to teach him how to play the ball the right way. But we also need a guy that we can put the ball in the hand and say, here, spell LeBron James, spell Anthony Davis some time for rest. Make it easier for those guys so they don't have to work as much. And Doug is absolutely right. A lot of our attention is going to be on AD. It's going to be on LeBron. We need to have somebody that we can trust. Say, hey, when they leave you wide open, you can knock down that shot. I believe if they get somebody like that, it will take us to the next level.
I agree. So first off, hey, Coach Dante, he said what's up to us in the chat. So thanks for tuning in, Dante. We really appreciate it, brother. So question for the group right here, right? So would you want Collins? Go ahead.
Yeah, can I jump right there because this deserves some mentality talk.
Let's get it.
You know, the Lakers, you know, and I may be reaching with this, but this is what I'm thinking. That Jeannie has her father, and she was there and saw how Pat Riley had pretty much a Hall of Fame team, with the exception of maybe Byron Scott, maybe. You know, I'm going to the 80s. When you look at the bench, you had, you know, guys that were on the end of their career but could still put it in the hole. McAdoo and Wilkes and all those guys. Jeannie has to understand, because that's what she's trying to do here. Just because you got a bunch of guys, you know what I'm saying, that have got big names and all that, and 75th all anniversary team, sometimes this stuff just don't work. You see what I'm saying? You need with LeBron, if he's your leader, it has been known throughout history that he needs role players. Now, I'll give you the Miami years, but even Chris Bosh had to fit a role. Wade was still able to be Wade, but he had to draw back a little bit for him. This is what LeBron needs. LeBron needs shooters. That is the formula that has got him 4 rings. That is the formula that helped him be MVP multiple times. It's not hard. You can't surround him with other guys who are somewhat on his level. That just don't work for him. And I think that's why we had this old age veteran pickup all-star team that we had last year, with guys who have the name but on the downside of career, but they're not as productive as they once were. That's not going to get you nowhere. Matter of fact, it didn't even get us in the playoffs. So I think Jeannie needs to understand that. And Sexton fits what I'm talking about. Not sexy, as Jonathan said, but my goodness, how productive would he be with the Lakers? That's all I want to throw that in.
So here's my question to that, though, Doug. Does LeBron even know what he wants, honestly? Because he had the okay Westbrook coming to the Lakers, and even looking at Cleveland, and even going back to Miami, some of the guys that he got throughout the years, he hasn't always advocated for the best pieces around him. You know, his teams have traditionally been very top-heavy outside of his first stint in Cleveland. So I hope LeBron knows what he's doing, man.
Well, the problem with that is the buddy system bit him last year. That's just the bottom line. Everybody talking Russell, but he also brought Carmelo in as well. So they aren't what they were, but they're still somewhat productive. But it's not on the level for enough to be talking about winning the NBA World Championship. Matter of fact, it ain't good enough to even get in the playoffs. That's the bottom line. So,
right. And it's okay to be buddies, but on a personal level, not from a business standpoint. I mean, you know, and sometimes, you know, building a team around your friends is not the best idea, you know. And if LeBron is serious about becoming an owner of an NBA team, he's going to have to learn how to separate the two and do a better job at building teams, because last year was a complete nightmare.
Look, hey, he's looking real Michael Jordan-ish when it comes to building teams. Hey, so we got a comment from Nats Dad 82. When is the next show on the New York Jets, since we're covering? Sage Horses right there. We get that comment off the screen. So look, in journalism, right, they said if it bleeds, it leads. So I'm about to hop right in hot and heavy. And Doug, this is going back to you, Doug, but I got a good topic right here for y'all fellas. AD, right? According to Bleacher Report, Anthony Davis said he hasn't shot the ball since April. Is that much to do about nothing? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, are you at 100 right now?
Well.
Big screen.
Let me have my camera, gentlemen. Thank you to all those that are watching. God bless y'all today. Listen, I have a few slight questions when it comes to that. Number one, if he has not shot the ball since April, now give me all 4 of y'all back, because I just want to see y'all faces. I don't need this. No, thank you. in fairness to Anthony Davis and in fairness to his history, number one, is the reason why he hadn't shot the ball because his wrist is hurting? I think that's a legitimate question. I really do. I really do. Is he injured? Because I don't think that's a far-fetched question.
Well, look, his back can't be hurting because he hasn't been carrying the Lakers, so it can't be his back.
Yeah. So is his wrist hurting? Number two, is he doing that because he's working on his body? But that ain't not an excuse for him not to shoot the basketball. The shame about Anthony Davis is this, y'all, and I know everybody got pretty much going to be on the same page on this one. The shame is he has a template right in front of his face every year on how this is supposed to be done, off season, during the season, and that template is LeBron James, because LeBron has proven that he knows what to do to get everything ready. I'm starting to wonder, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? I mean, I know he got married, and I understand what that means and all that kind of stuff. But to be the guy that you need to be, you're gonna have to do some things that you see one of the greatest to ever do it. There's nothing wrong with copying him. I don't understand. So in fairness to him, I don't know what it is. The talent level is fine. What he need to be doing is going down. Oh Lord, I'm okay. Here I go. He need to be going to find somebody to not the massage parlor Deshaun Watson went to. Don't go to them. Don't go to them. Don't go to them. Don't go to them. No. Go find some other one, the legitimate one, carried by 2 or 3 security guards there, and do whatever it is you got to do to work on your body, because as soon as you come out, if you can make the first 10 games, we happy. But it just seems like that, I don't know. So I really can't comment on it. I'm wondering, Coach Dante, stop laughing at me. I'm just telling you. I don't know if, somebody say, it's the same routine he does a lot. Okay, well, Richard, he need to change his routine. This is not New Orleans, okay? This is not Kentucky. This is not. You got to change. There's an expect, and see, that's another thing. See, I'm glad y'all could let me run right quick. That name on the front of the jersey means a whole lot more in this organization than the name on the back of the jersey. And whatever that you're doing that you did somewhere else, that mess don't work here. This is a franchise of 100% expectation. And if you're not meeting that standard of expectation, which is what are we going to do to win a world championship, then you need to go on back to New Orleans. That's just what I'm looking at. Go. Because I'm about ready to get rid of him in the first place, to be honest with you. He ain't on the court anyway. I see him wearing Ralph Lauren Polo. I see him wearing Gucci. I see him wearing Fanucci, all the other Fanucci's, Ducci's, whatever else. Can I see in a Laker uniform?
Don't forget the Jays.
Yeah. Oh, he got every color of the rainbow, everything else. They blended in colors. I'm getting out of here. Y'all go ahead there. And the crowd goes wild.
Look, I'm about to give it to you, Freddie, but to be honest, Doug,
please do. Tag me, Coach.
Look, I'm starting to feel like Anthony Davis is a clone, and the real one got lost in the French Quarter a few years ago. Because I don't know, can the real Anthony Davis please stand up without hurting yourself? Can you stand up without hurting yourself, Freddie? What you got, man?
Listen, man, and it's Doug is right. Expectations with this franchise. We grew up watching Kobe Bean Bryant put in that work year in, year out. We see a guy, 37 years old, in LeBron James, the other day go live shooting a basketball with his kids, but he's shooting a basketball. I guarantee you guys, if the season started right now, LeBron James would be ready to go. I will bet money on that his body is ready to go right now. And just like you said, Doug, you have the map in front of you, AD. Watch them. Learn from them. Aren't you tired? Didn't you go off a few weeks ago about people going off on you about you being hurt? Okay, if you really about to step up your game and prove people wrong and to go, he even said a quote about how they coming with vengeance this season. Okay, if you're gonna do that, you can't wait to September to start getting ready. It starts now. It starts in the off season. It's about what work are you doing now. Even Darvin Ham said that in his press conference. It's about the work that we put in now. So, AD, when are you going to put the work in? And I like Doug said, I would like an explanation. Is it the reason why you have not picked up a basketball? Is it because you're getting in shape? What's the explanation? I really want to know that. This is really you and LeBron's first offseason together. Have the longest break since the bubble. Let's be honest, that is true. But don't waste your time. Get in the gym. Get ready. Like, what are we waiting for?
What you got, Jonathan?
Yeah, it's imperative that this man gets his body right. And now is the time. Like everyone else on this panel has agreed, it's time now to start putting in the work. If you haven't picked up a basketball since April, like you say, well, then I'm a bit concerned. Because as an NBA player, with this being your occupation, you should be picking up a basketball. You know, training and working out, it never stops. The grind never stops. The hustle never stops. The hustle never stops. You got to continue to put in the work if you want to be a Laker great, especially if you want to amount to something great in this city. Or the fans will run you out of town. You won't be here very long. You know, so AD needs to get his body right. He needs to be conditioning himself. And the hope for him is staying healthy, because I constantly repeat myself over and over and over again. I say the same thing about AD. I'm starting to sound like a broken record, saying the same thing. And what I've been saying for the entire time is that he can't stay healthy for a full season. Now, he did help the Lakers deliver on their promise. He did help bring a championship to this city. But this is a what have you done for me lately league. And what we've seen from him lately is nothing but injuries, inconsistent play, especially in that Phoenix Suns series. That game one, we haven't forgot about that game one. That game one was a terrible performance, a horrible display of basketball by a man who is expected to be aggressive and bring that toughness night in and night out. And we just haven't seen that from him. So I'm hoping that if he's serious about being this all-time great, and if he's committed to winning more championships and saying all this stuff that they're going to come back with a vengeance and all that, I hope he's putting in the work and he's truly sincere about helping this team win an NBA championship and get back to playing basketball at such a high level.
And look, and I know we joke around and stuff, but right, Anthony Davis, I'm talking to you right now. You play for the Los Angeles Lakers, man. You stepped on that same court that Kobe Bean Bryant stepped on, dog. The same court, right, that Magic Johnson stepped on, bro. Have some pride, man. Have some of this right here. Have some of that, man. You know, he was one of the first players to ever be coined the unicorn, right? Come on, bro. We need a little more from you, AD. We need a little more from you.
Well, it probably the reason why is because it don't mean as much. That name on the front of the jersey. When y'all bring up Kobe, and I can add plenty more names to that name on the front of the jersey, it means something. I'm serious. That name means something on the front of that jersey. And if you don't have that in you, you'll make statements like, I ain't shot a ball since April. Kobe Bryant was out there with one arm hanging, fingers dangling.
He would never.
Shoulder.
He would never.
He if he did, he would be out there handicapped, shooting with a left hand, knowing he right-handed. It's a disgrace. You know what I'm saying? To even say this. And I know we got to go, but I'm saying when the night LeBron has been this way since high school, so he has that workout mentality. He want to be the great, want to be one of all-time greats. So we ain't got to question him. But when you got guys like this who will say something like this, I'm wondering, are we, let me stop. I'm wondering, are we stuck with this guy? Because see, as I said in the first show, I'm starting to look 2-3 years down the road. And if this is what we're banking on, okay, it don't look good. And I even got another question, on this. If he is hurt, and that's the reason, I mean, good Lord, is this what we got to look forward to already? I mean, what did he bring? What did he mess his wrist on this time? Pulling the mailbox down, the flap down? I mean, good God. What if that's the case? I'm saying we don't have nothing to look forward to. 2-3 years down the road, you're gonna be like Zion was this year, just out for the whole year. I mean, come on now. We got to figure out really what we got to stop trying to make $1 out of 15 cents with this guy. If he's not that guy, go on, get the assets and get rid of him so you can get some people in. But I digress.
Yeah, this is who they plan on building their franchise around, but he hasn't shown us that he can stay healthy. And I mean, that's been a testament to his poor effort on the court that we've witnessed in recent memory. So, I mean, the Lakers are going to have to keep a close eye on this. They might have to make some decisions moving forward if he doesn't, step up his game, because that's going to be critical the next couple seasons.
A great dialogue, team. Coming up next, we're going to deconstruct the current Lakers roster and determine who should stay and who should go. Before that, quick commercial break.
Get ready. This summer, the Arena League Sports is on ASAP Network. Tune in live on either the Tiki Live or Roku app, as well as your smart home TV.
Welcome back to Lakers Talk 101. If you're just now tuning in, I'm your host, Phil Tross. I'm joined by Freddie, Jonathan, Mathis, and Doug. Welcome, gentlemen. Don't forget to like us and subscribe. We're on Tiki Live. We're on Roku TV. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Please, if you like our show, share it. If you're a Lakers fan, share it. If you're a Boston fan, we don't like you, but share it anyway. So, our next topic is, which players currently on the roster should the Lakers keep or get rid of? I'm gonna go with you, Freddie.
Hey, before that, Phil, I think Doug wanted to touch on this comment real quick.
Oh, go ahead, Doug.
Richard, great comment, first of all. But let me shed some light on you on this. You can't set nobody straight if they ain't got it in them. Rasheed Wallace is a dog. And trying to make Anthony Davis a dog, if it's really not in him, you can't get him on that level. What you're going to find out is you either going to find out that he got a little something in, or you're going to find out that he's soft. That's the kind of guy Rasheed Wallace is. Rasheed and Darvin Ham, tough, gritty guys. I don't know if, Anthony Davis, don't get me wrong, great talent, can fill the bucket up, but he leans more to me on the finesse side. I'm just saying. I ain't saying when we start talking about grades, he's just not that guy. And with Rasheed, you can't pull up a puppy and try to make him a German Shepherd. But I mean, come on now. If it's not in you, if you're a Chihuahua, you just stay as a Chihuahua. You're a dog, but you're a Chihuahua. Rasheed is a German Shepherd, and you can't pull German Shepherd out of Chihuahua. That's all I'm saying. I'm done.
Well, hold up. Let's sit here for a second, right? Because that's a good point. Because you can coach up skill, you can teach discipline and hard work, but like you said, you can't give heart if heart ain't there already. So how do y'all feel about that, Jonathan, Freddie? What y'all think?
Well, I'm with you. If your heart's not there, how are you gonna give it your 100%? You have to be like I said earlier. You have to be fully committed. I mean, you can't be halfway there and then not there. The other half of it, you gotta play with a lot of heart, determination, and you gotta want it. You have to want it. I mean, you can't just go out there half assing it. Excuse me. You just can't. You can't do that. You have to be your best all the time. And even if you're having an off night, which is expected because we're all human, right? So we're going to have those nights where we shoot the ball poorly. But if you're having a poor shooting night, still bring that effort, bring that intensity, bring that same level of intensity and be as great as you can be. And I think that's very important for any player. And your work ethic will show, each time you take the floor. So I'm with you on that. And I agree with you 100% with that statement.
And don't get us wrong, comment section, right? This is the Lakers Talk 101. So we love our team, right? We love our team. But with the new generation of players not wanting to divulge all that information to the media, it's hard for us to really know what's going on with you all. So, again, AD, you might be hurt. You may be, I don't know, you may be tired. I don't know. But you aren't giving us anything to go off of, man. So all we see is poor body language. All we see is you not playing. All we hear is comments about, oh, I haven't touched the ball in 7 months. Like, come on. What do you expect for us to feel if you aren't giving us what we should expect from a star player for the Los Angeles Lakers? Freddie, I'm tired of that, man. You got it.
And you got to give one more thing. You got to remember the Lakers gave up their future. They gave up a pool of talent to get better now. And, they were banking their future on this guy after giving up so much. And you saw the players they gave up, how they have emerged, how they have stepped up their game, how they have improved tremendously. So, I mean, it looks like a waste right now. I don't want to give up and cave in, but it's not looking too good.
Well, to piggyback off that, Jonathan, like I always tell you, brother, it's hard to win NBA championships. The Lakers went all in. They accomplished the goal. I don't think they was thinking 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. I think they was just really thinking on winning a chip, and they did that. So, hey, they achieved the goal. It's hard. We see how hard it is to win a chip. We've seen the Phoenix Suns team, these last 2 years just come up short. We see how hard it is to win. Number two, that what takes, this mindset, this him being soft, that takes away from him being better than Giannis. Because I always say this, he have better skills than Giannis Antetokounmpo. But you know what takes him away from that?
That motor.
That heart, that want to. If he had that, oh my goodness, we're talking about the best player in the league because AD got the bag. He got the skills, but he just don't have that motor. That's just who he is. I mean, some players don't have it. I mean,
Freddie, he has the tools. I agree with Doug.
You can't teach that.
Freddie, indeed, he has the tools, and he's given us a glimpse of that in the past. The problem is his consistency and his health. Those are the two major factors as to why he has not been that guy that we all think he could be or should be.
And from a size and skill standpoint, you won't find any other players better than a 7-footer in AD, Durant, and these are three guys who are big, but they're skilled, right? Those guys don't come around every so often. Like AD has it, but like you said, what separates him from Giannis is that motor. Giannis plays like a man that's on a mission every single game. I haven't seen Giannis take a game off, and he's an MVP. So I mean, I don't know. It's tough.
You can't teach that. It's just the bottom line. That got to come from within, and you can't finesse it. You can't do it. I mean, and just with a guy like Rasheed, he's gonna be able to find all that out very early in training camp. It's not hard. A dog know a dog. Let me put it that way. He knows his skill set, but that little extra, that bang, that heart, that want to, I don't know. So,
and I don't know if watching Kobe Bryant's last few years kind of scarred me, but he had zero help those last few years, and I think we're doing a really bad disservice to LeBron James' last few prime years with the way these guys are playing. Man, they're playing with no heart, and it's sad. It's just really sad.
Well, Phil, I'm going to disagree with you on that, sir, because LeBron kind of put himself in that situation with the players that surround him. So LeBron have a part in the reason why what that team looked like the last few years too. So we got to give, he's not as clean, as squeaky clean as in it as well.
But
No, I agree.
But to add to Phil's point, though, don't you think that coaching was a huge problem as to why the Lakers might have not played together as a team?
Hey,
or didn't
I'm
bring that
gonna answer this.
collective
I'm gonna answer this, Jonathan. These
toughness?
guys are professional athletes. These are grown men, and
Exactly. But sometimes you need the right person to
yeah.
motivate
But guess
to
what? Hey,
inspire you.
you don't need a coach to teach you effort. To me,
Yeah, but it takes a
I'm-
certain person to deal with LeBron James.
yeah. But at the end of the day, Jonathan, a coach cannot teach a player effort. There was time those guys showed no effort at all. And I mean, no effort on the defensive end or anything. And a coach can't teach that at the end of the day. So it don't matter what coach you have. You can have Phil Jackson. You can have Greg Popovich. You cannot teach effort. And Lakers at times showed they had no effort.
And the truth on that matter is the bubble, even though we're talking about a different team, the motivation came from LeBron James. He was so close to getting another ring, and that's where the motivation. It didn't come from Vogel. That came from being in that bubble and LeBron saying, let's go. Hey, I got to have it. That's where it came from, not Vogel. Vogel's a good coach. Let's not knock that out. But when you have no effort on the defensive end like we didn't have last year, I mean, that was beyond ridiculous. So
Doug, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. To be honest with you, I think we've done two coaches wrong in their services. I think how we let Frank go, I just think that's dirty. We need to do better. This is the same guy that won us a championship a few years ago. Okay, so let's give him his respect. He did that, and I think we did. And I know this wasn't a lot of people's favorite pick. I think we did Luke Walton an injustice. I don't think we did him. The reason why I say that is because, hey, that same year when Christmas time came, Phil, we was a top 4 seed in the West with LeBron and a bunch of young guys. LeBron get hurt on Christmas. Ingram get hurt. Lonzo get hurt.
But he refused to play Lonzo. He refused to play our point guard, man.
But hey, he got hurt. So I mean, you can't help to get to that team you can't expect that team to get to the playoffs. And when LeBron came back, he never was LeBron James. So I just think that was LeBron didn't really like dealing with Luke, somebody young, not too much experience. I think that's the only reason why Luke was fired. And because Magic was listening to LeBron, that wasn't Magic's guy. But to say that Luke wasn't a good coach, I mean, it's up in the air. We don't know, because everybody judging what he did in Golden State. Well, it's not too hard when you have that roster. But we just not sit here and act like we didn't see what happened until that Christmas Day game. I'm just saying.
I know that's a good point. And before we move on, I'll make this last point right here. Regardless of how you want to divvy up the blame for last season, LeBron still gave us 38-6. You know what I'm saying? No matter how you want to look at it, LeBron still gave us 38-6. So while he may be a horrible team manager, the guy put up numbers. We got Coach Dante right here. Takes a certain person to coach LeBron, but you also cannot coach effort. That's 100%. Lakers didn't have the effort. They didn't get back on defense. They argued about calls the whole time. It's no sense of urgency. That's a good point, Coach. So, to our next topic. Who are your top 5 Lakers of all time? We can start with you, Freddie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, I'm sorry, it was tripping. My starting 5, and I think everybody starting 5 should be the same. I believe Doug's to be the only one different on this list. But okay, let's go. Number 1, Kobe Bean Bryant. Guy been down there for 20 years, gave us 5 championships, the MVPs, and did what he did for this city, for this organization. I mean, we all know how much Kobe means to the Lakers. I mean, his Mamba mentality, his dedication to the game. The dude is a global player. People love him overseas, in here. I mean, God rest his soul, one of the greatest Lakers to ever lace it up. And the guy just wanted to learn how to play basketball. I mean, he wasn't into going to the club on a Friday night. He wasn't in doing this, hanging out with players. We seen that side of him after basketball. But that's my number. That is my number one. Oh, Richie, I don't know about your list, sir. Number two, Irvin Magic Johnson, Mr. Laker. That smile, that $1,000,000 smile. I don't know or anybody else, but I love when Magic talk because he inspires me to be better in life. Magic Johnson, I mean, hey, we seen him come in as I didn't see, I seen footage YouTube. We seen him come in as a rookie, play point guard, play the center. We see how impactful he was to that Showtime era. So he got to be number two. Number three, it got to be Kareem. I mean, hey, listen, man, the most points in NBA history. We know it most of it wasn't came in LA, but hey, when we was running that Showtime Laker, we know we put him in the post, we slow it down, give it to him. It's the most impossible shot in NBA history. Kareem, and it's very impressive what Kareem did. It's not just what he was doing a lot of that things on the court, but just like how Kyrie Irving can't chew bubblegum and do it at the same time, we seen a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. Shout out to my brother. So he's number two. Number three, hey, when you go to so that's number three. Number four, I gotta go to Shaquille O'Neal. Yes, I'm asking up Jerry West at number four because Shaq, he got us three. He came in there, him in the Kobe Shaq era, the Big Diesel, the most unstoppable big man in the NBA history. I got it number three. We know who Shaq is. Number five, you putting Bron in the top five? I didn't say anything about Bron on the top five of my list. So let's get it straight. Number five, I gotta go Jerry West. You go to 10 NBA finals. I know you only won one, but hell, you the logo with him and those guys did. I mean, it was phenomenal. That's just my list. That's just how I see it. And I wish, I'm going to tell you this, the year that they won with Jerry West, I wish, Elgin Baylor didn't retire that year. I really wish because, Elgin Baylor, a lot of people need to look at who Elgin Baylor is. Elgin Baylor is LeBron before LeBron.
What you got, Jonathan?
So what are you coming at me, Chris? We had the same list, brother. We had the same list.
You know what? It's always tough when you have to list the top five players. No matter if it's the NBA list or a franchise list. But the Lakers is always tough because you had so many players who have come and gone from past to present. But here's my list. This is very close for me, and I know a lot of people might disagree with this, but this one's hard. Number one is very hard, but I have to put Kareem over Kobe Bryant, and the reason I say that is because of what Kareem meant to this team. Kareem was part of the Showtime era. Kareem was a huge part of the Lakers' success in the 80s. And people always make the argument that Kareem is arguably the best player of all time. I hear that all the time, from people. They put him over Michael Jordan, which is very amazing to me. But I definitely got Kareem at one. At two, I got Kobe Bean Bryant because this guy was a fierce competitor. And I was fortunate enough to grow up in a time where I seen his whole entire career. And it was simply spectacular just to watch Kobe Bryant. I mean, no one else was really on his level during his time in the NBA. Just an amazing all-around player, was phenomenal, had that fierce competitiveness, could close games out, was a strong finisher, would get his points whenever he wanted to, and he resembled that style of Michael Jordan. So no one came close to emulating that, and Kobe Bryant did. Number three, I got to go with the technician, and that's Magic Johnson. Now, this man had eyes in the back of his head. He can make players around him better. He was able to elevate his teammates, which was really amazing. And Magic Johnson has not only become a legendary point guard, but he has become the ambassador of the Lakers as well. And we can have another discussion a different day about all the great things he's done off the court, away from basketball. So he's definitely 3 for me. And then 4, you guys might trip out about this, but you have to put him on the list, is Shaquille O'Neal. Because look, he was the most dominant center. And had Kobe and Shaq stayed together, there's no telling how many more championships these two guys would have won together. If they would have put their differences aside, we could have seen possibly the greatest dynasty in NBA history, if not sports history. So Shaq, to me, was the most dominant center that's ever played the game. So he's number 4 for me. Then number 5, of course, how can you leave Jerry West off the list? Jerry West is the logo of the NBA. But not only is he the logo of the NBA, he was a huge part of this storied franchise. And, you know, he's won a significant amount of championships as well. And he was one hell of a guard as well. And not only that, he was also the architect for the early 2000s Lakers that won multiple championships. So those are my 5.
Jonathan, how the hell do you have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar number 1? No disrespect to him, brother.
I explained it to you.
20 years. You got to forget, Kareem was also down there in Milwaukee. You got to remember that too. He didn't do all that in LA.
He was, but most of his glory days came with the Lakers.
Look, I'm going to get my 5 really brief. I'm going to have Doug close us out. Y'all going to be hating on my list a little bit because I chose, to me, who were the top 5 greatest players to put on a uniform, not the top 5 throughout the franchise's history. So obviously number 1 is the greatest of all time, Kobe being Bryant. He has to be number 1. And the rest is in no particular order, right? I got my man.
No, Phil. Top 5. I need an order. We need an order. Me and Doug ain't gonna let you away from off the hook, sir. No, sir.
All right. Number 1, I got the Bean, Bryant, Kobe. Number 2, I got the Shaqtus. Number 3, I got Magic. And these last 2, y'all gonna be upset with. I got Paul Gasol. The reason why I got Paul Gasol is because he extended Kobe's championship window. Without Paul Gasol, Kobe's not winning 2 more rings. Call it what it is. And they repeated. And last but not least, while LeBron James only has 1 championship ring, he is still one of the greatest players of all time to ever put on a Lakers uniform. So I got to put LeBron in my 5. Sorry, Jerry West. Sorry, Kareem. But I'm 28 years old. I watch the documentaries, but I couldn't see y'all play in person, man. I got to push y'all to the side.
You made Freddie leave the set, and now he's fibergassed it.
Hey, put out an APB for Freddie, man. He's out of here.
Yeah, he's
Maybe
out of
Doug
here.
can bring him back. Maybe Doug can bring him back.
He left. He's too outdone with your list.
Good Lord.
But hey, that is facts about Paul Gasol though.
I'm just saying.
Let me
And if the Lakers didn't make that trade happen, Kobe was close to signing with the Bulls.
Just saying.
see. Let me, as being the oldest one here, definitely older than all y'all. This is hard because I don't know the criteria of what we're talking about. So,
Good point.
you know, I mean, it's kind of hard. But if you're talking
Neither do
about,
I anymore.
yeah, you know, so, but I'm going to have to go with, you know, based off what I'm hearing, you guys are going off. I really don't know what y'all going off of. Let me give you 2 lists, okay? Number 1, if we're gonna go with the all-time greatest Laker, I don't know if you're talking about on court plus off court combined, but I just gonna throw it out there. To me, based off impact and playing, Magic Johnson is number 1. No question. No question. No, it's not even close to me. Kobe, number 2. 3, it's got to be Kareem. No, George Mikan is not there. He don't even have the criteria or the accolades to even match some of these guys that we talking about.
Not top 10. He said top 10, not top 5.
Top 10. Yeah, he'll be a top 10 all-time Laker. Definitely. George Mikan deserves to be there. 4, I'm going to go with Shaq at 4. Based off y'all saying all-time Laker, then
You
5.
have to.
Yeah, you have to. And then 5, you would have to put Jerry West there. There's no question about that. However, because I thought y'all were going a different way, I went just by saying, based on the positions, this is my all-time Laker team. Number 1, Magic at point guard. The greatest point guard is Magic. The greatest shooting guard is Kobe. The greatest small forward is Elgin Baylor.
Ooh.
The greatest. Oh, no doubt about it. No, there's not even a question. It's not even. You can't even name me one. We ain't talking about guys who came later down in the career. They Hall of Fame from another team works. No. That's why LeBron is not on this list. He hadn't been there long enough to even come to the front of number 4, which is gonna mess some of y'all up. The greatest power forward in Laker history is Pau Gasol.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
When you look at who played that position, nobody matches up to Pau Gasol. And number 5, I ain't got to say, oh, well, I do have to say it because some of y'all too young. But please, sir, look, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, good Lord, is over Shaquille O'Neal as far as being a Laker is concerned. I ain't talking about what he did at Orlando and Miami. No. That's why LeBron is not on this list. What he did at Cleveland don't mean nothing to what he did here in L.A. He ain't got enough on the resume. Pau Gasol at number 4 has a resume with the Los Angeles Lakers. There's no other. I think maybe, James Worthy was listed as a number 3. James Worthy was listed as a number 3. He's not. He has a great, whatever. But I'm sorry, some of us, I was too young too. But when you look at Elgin Baylor, and you see what he did, and you see what his accolades are, I don't think there's a question. So that top 5 by position is where the real argument may come into play. The all-time list that you guys, Kobe, Magic, Kareem, Shaq, and West, I don't really think that can be argued at all. To be honest with you, maybe Magic, Kobe, depending on what you like. You know what I'm saying? But as far as position-wise goes, that's where the real argument comes in. And Pau Gasol don't get talked about a whole lot, but Pau Gasol did some work here in the LA.
I want to do the same thing Doug did because I love that starting 5. It's fun.
That's a great breakdown.
I'm at the point guard. I'm going Irvin Magic Johnson. The greatest point guard the franchise ever have. Honestly, I know we've had the Van Exels and all these guys, Derek Fisher. We've never really had an elite point guard since Magic. Let's just be honest with you with that. Number 2, Kobe Bean Bryant. That I shouldn't have to explain that one. Number 3, I agree. Elgin Baylor, like I said in my list, bro. Elgin was LeBron before LeBron even came. This dude here got the numbers bagged him. The only reason why he didn't win the championship is because he retired the year they did win. That's the only reason why. Number 4, I agree with you on Powell. I agree.
Don't do it.
Powell there.
Don't do it.
Out there. But I will say this: talent-wise, and he got to have 1 year down there. AD can be on that list if he got to add more to that resume. He got to do more in LA, and he got to win more championships. But he got the talent. Hey, I agree. I'm putting Powell there. I didn't say I was. I'm putting Powell there. But I'm just saying AD got the talent. He just don't got that heart. And number 5, oh, man. You know what? I know Kareem is one of the most fundamental centers there is in the game. The most, had the most unstoppable shot in NBA history. And I really want to go Shaq. I really, really do.
Can't do it. You can't do it. Orlando, Miami. You cannot do it.
You're right.
Like
You're right. I
cannot
can't put
do it.
LeBron on that list. I gotta
You
go.
can't
I'm
put
going
that.
Curry. I'm putting
Well, look, fellas, we just had to be out of time for today, man. This was a great conversation, and we may have to revisit this top 5 with a more succinct criteria. We have to come back with this next week, y'all. But once again, this was Lakers Talk 101. I'm your host, Phil Charles. I'm joined by Freddie, Jonathan Mack. This is our big guy, Doug. And once again, if you like the show, please like and subscribe. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Roku TV. We're on Tiki Live. Please, this is the premier content for all things Lakers Nation. So go around the horn real quick, guys. Say what's up. Plug your brand, and we out of here.
Yeah, my name is Freddie. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate that the time was up because I'm having so much fun. Just want to thank you guys for coming on, and hey, look forward to the next one.
Likewise, you guys can catch me, man. You guys can catch me on YouTube. Catch me there. Jonathan Mathis, the Sports Judge. I'm a cartoon character. You guys can also find me on Twitter, Sports Judge 85. You guys can find me on Instagram, Sports Judge 85. Holler at your boy. Talk to you guys next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, ain't no doubt about it. This is, as you can read, this is the Big Time Show. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook. Just type that in. Come on and follow me, because what happens is, ladies and gentlemen, I don't just talk Lakers. I really don't talk Lakers too much at all. But, this is what I do. Y'all, you see that right there? That's how quick things can change.
Who that?
I am electrifying. You see what I'm saying? That's what I talk about. The Dallas Cowboys. If you a Cowboy fan, come on, holler at me. But if you don't, just stick with me right here, just like that. You see what I'm saying?
You look a lot better when you put that background in.
I'm just saying. I
Yeah,
am.
I respect the purple and gold more.
Yeah, it don't make no difference if you respect it or not. You understand? This is what it's all about. But come on, follow me right there. And as usual, whenever I leave, the crowd.
Once
It
again,
go
this is
wild.
Lakers Talk 101. You can find us at ASAP Sports All Plays Network. It's been great, fellas. Let's be out.